This is our Harewood lean-to mini greenhouse. The Harewood's 5 foot tall at the back, 1.51 metres tall. So it's designed where you've got maybe a 5 foot high wall or a 5 foot fence where you haven't got height for the taller Hampton model. This one is our 1 metre long model, so 3'4" long. It's designed to screw against the wall, and if it goes against the wall, or it can go against the fence, but if it goes against the wall will act like a storage heater and will give the heat off in the evening time, so it gives you a longer growing day. The Harewood is glazed in 4mm toughened safety glass. Glass has got a number of advantages. It traps the heat, which is why we talk about a greenhouse effect. The heat is trapped inside, so in the early springtime you can have the greenhouse closed up, have the sun on it, and even though it might be very cold outside, it'll be warm inside. And as I say, the wall will then absorb that heat and give it off later in the day. As well as trapping the heat and the excellent light transmission of the glass, you've also got the advantage that the glass is very rigid. So it doesn't get blown out in windy conditions. It's quite windy here today, and you can have it out with snow on it, and you don't need to worry about that. But the sliding doors have two great advantages. First of all, they give very easy access into the mini greenhouse, but they also give superb ventilation. Early in the year, you can have the doors open just a little bit, just an inch or so, sort of top and bottom. And that will allow the air to circulate through, so you're not getting disease problems in there, but it's still nice and warm in there because the heat is still being trapped. When you come to later in the spring, you can have the doors wide open, give you more ventilation. And then in the summertime, say June, July, August time, then you can actually slide the roof glass open as well, so the heat can vent out through the top. In actual fact, if it's really, really hot, you can actually remove the roof glass and then you've got plenty of space then, volume for the air to vent out through the top. Looking inside, you've got a shelving system, or two shelving systems really. You've got the tea tray shelves at the back, you've got a narrow one there, and then down at the bottom you've got two wider ones, and then in the centre you've got a glass centre staging. Thinking about the seed tray shelves, they're adjustable height-wise, so you can change the spacing of them depending on what you're growing in there, and you can also drop them flat against the back. So you see the very bottom one down there is flat against the back, out of the way. So in the early springtime, you probably have all your shelves up, you'll have the seedlings on there, and then maybe you've got some tomatoes in there. As the tomatoes start growing up, you'll progressively drop the shelves flat. The centre staging is toughened glass again, rated for 25 kilos each sheet, so it'll take plenty of weight on there. But the reason we use the glass is to keep the light down at the lower levels. It's as light as possible down at the bottom. But that centre staging can be lifted out as well, so that when you've got your tomatoes growing, they can grow right up to the top. And in this model, if you've got standard tomatoes, you can even remove the glass so the tomatoes grow out through the top. So it makes it a very versatile growing system. One of the other things that's included with the mini greenhouse is the watering system. So at the end you've got a fitting for a garden hose. You have put your snap connector on the end of the hose and connect it onto the watering system there, and you've got a little nozzle here, and down below the centre staging you've got another nozzle, and they will water the whole frame. There's very fine mist. If you've got seedlings in there, it won't knock them about. So a very useful addition. If you want to automate it, you can put a little timer on the tap and have it come on early in the morning, and in the summertime maybe early in the morning, and then in the evening time as well, to make sure everything's nicely watered. The other optional accessory that you've got with this model is the automatic louvre vent. The automatic louvre vent will open and close on its own. Now it's very useful early in the springtime because at night time you're going to want it fully closed, but when you get to late April, early May, then the sun's coming up at about sort of 5 in the morning, so it's going to start warming up in there. If you've got an automatic vent, it will automatically then start to open, and ventilate the frame so it stays at getting too hot. It's also very useful if you've gone away for a few days. You don't have to worry about ventilating. It doesn't require any electricity, there's no fancy sensors in there. All there is a black piston that is filled with a plant oil. As that warms up, it expands, pushes down on the piston and opens the vent. And then when that cools and contracts, then there's some springs to close it again. So it's very simple, but it's also very effective. So that's the Harewood. It's a lovely little frame, allows you to grow all through the year, different seasons, different crops, but doesn't take up a huge amount of space and is ideal for 5-foot walls or 5-foot fences.